Hello everybody and welcome back to my garage Zero to Hero. Alright, so yes, it is almost 8 o'clock in the morning and we are about to head out to our shop quickly just to go and see if everything is alright over there over the night. So yeah, we are today going to be working over at Alan's shop probably the whole day. I don't think we're going to have any time for private jobs today. But yes, I just thought I'd show Grandma's car a little bit. We did sort this thing out completely. So yeah, we did replace this B-pillar trim that was a little bit dingy on the car, as well as we've got a hubcap fitted that Alan found for us. So yeah, Grandma's very happy with her new wagon and it is definitely doing very well for her. She's enjoying the automatic transmission as well. But yes, we need to basically head over to our shop quick. I just want to go and make sure everything is still fine. And then, yeah, we are going to head over to Alan's. And I do have a little bit of news about another private job that I have managed to get in. And you will also be pleased to know that I did sell the old parts of the B200 or the Ford F250 for Lance that we had laying around. So that landed us a little bit of money to spend on parts for it, obviously. Because we spent a lot of money on basically things that we needed for our own shop and obviously to acquire the shop. But yes, right now I'm just gonna make a way over there and yeah, we're gonna see what's cooking there and I'll show you guys what the new project is all about. Alright, and we are here at our little shop and yes, this is in fact our new customer vehicle. It's a 1965 Ford Mustang. So this car actually belongs to a guy called Michael and he's a friend of Dennis. So he said he's got a little bit of engine problems. So you can clearly see this is not the standard V8 you would find in this usually. So this is it's an inline 6 diesel engine similar to the one in Grandma's car. But it's been a little bit modified. As you can see, it's branded with Caterpillar decals and stuff. So obviously Michael has got a very good sense of humor. But yeah, he had a little bit of engine problems and yeah, you can clearly see the problem. Yeah, if you look down there, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze to see there, but he's got a big hole in the side of the engine. So obviously when I first asked him what was the problem, and yeah, it looks like he was running it without oil and he was not too sure what exactly happened with this. And when I did a little bit of an investigation, I found that this oil cap was actually loose and yeah, the oil actually spilled out there. So yeah, by the time the car got here, it was actually missing the oil filter. I had to pick it up in the driveway all the way back there. So yeah, I ended up just putting that back in and closing the cap. But as you can see, it's already too late. The engine has blown. So we're going to have to try and figure something out with this engine. But luckily, he already supplied us with a new crankshaft, which is in fact a stroker crankshaft. And we already have the replacement engine block in the back of the car, which came with it. So obviously I quoted him a total of 4,000 in order to fix this car up. And that 4,000 along with the money we got off the old parts that came off the truck we have over on the lift here. Yes, obviously we were able to afford a lift of our own. So I went ahead and picked one of these up yesterday. And that's not all I've been doing. As you can see, I've been a little bit busy. Yeah, I actually did quite a bit of work. But I left all of the good stuff basically for you guys to see. So what I have done is I have basically started prepping this bed. It still needs a little bit of work. Most of the rust is gone. We still got a couple of rusty spots here and there. But yes, we will get that sorted out in good time. But yeah, the most important thing is I've managed to get the cab straightened out. So you can clearly tell there's a lot of Bondo on the roof. So that's the only way I could fix it. And I ended up transferring the doors off of the old truck onto this one. And yeah, we ordered a new steering column and obviously a bunch of other parts that we still need to install on this thing. I actually managed to get the frame rails over here already. So those are also both going to be replaced on this truck. And obviously we've got all the nitty-gritty bits we need to replace under here, as well as the couple of other bits like this transfer case. And I also noticed we were missing a drive shaft back here, so I got that ordered up as well. So yeah, hopefully those parts will be ready for us soon, so we can continue work on this thing. So my plan is to get this thing basically ready for its paint, and then we will probably just take it over to Alan's paint booth, because I'm going to try and do it out of the wind, because it's a little bit windy out here. So yeah, that is my plan with this thing. We're going to try and get this thing ready for paint, and also sort out a couple of engine things which I haven't even dived into yet. We don't even know yet what's the real problem. I think it might be a bad carburetor on this thing, but we'll get into that a little bit later on when we have a little bit more time. So as for Grandma's ladder wagon, it's still waiting. It's still standing here. I haven't touched it yet. But yes, now we need to head over to Alan's shop, because I've got word that there's quite a lot of things we need to do today. So I'm going to try and make the best of this Friday and see how much of that work we can get done. So yeah, let's jump in and head over there. Alright, and here we are over at Alan's shop once again. So we've got basically Spartan's Chevy Chevelle that we were working on in the last episode. And yeah, you guys remember we had a bit of issues with this car. We had to probably, yeah, come and sort that out off camera a bit, along with Alan. So we replaced the drive shaft as well as this middle frame brace, which we were unable to do in the last episode. But that has all been sorted out now. So yeah, I reckon we'll probably continue on this, because I do notice there are some parts in the storage back there, but we'll check up on that. And as for the little Niva, it looks like Alan finished putting this thing back together yesterday. So he did all of this on his own. I'm not too sure if he struggled with anything, but yeah, it's good to see this thing basically sort of in one piece again. But yes, let's quickly see what Alan says we need to get done today for him. So obviously there's our payment for the last time we were here, and yeah, obviously another note. So let's read what the note says over here. So he says, "Hello FUNCLE, I managed to get all Spartan's parts done. They are in the storage room. Let me know if anything is missing." I take it we'll have to phone him then. "I would like it if you could finish putting it together for me. Also, I want to thank you for welding the trunk floor in the little Niva. I forgot to mention it to you in my last note. I would appreciate it if you could strip the suspension from all worn parts and also remove the engine and gearbox for me, as I got a new engine for it also. Spartan should phone you when it's ready. I also heard you are doing well with your new shop. Keep it up. I might have to start sending some projects your way in the near future, as my wife and I will be leaving town soon for a couple of months on holiday. Signed, Alan." Alright, well that's yeah, quite interesting. So we've got quite a bit of work to do actually, and yeah, Alan looks like he's taking a little bit of an early holiday. So I'm not too sure if he's going to close up shop or what's the story. But yeah, I'm not going to ask too many questions. That means we are going to be getting a little bit of business from his side as well, at least. So yeah, I think let's quickly have a look at the parts that we've got for the Chevelle. So I see we've got all the body panels. So there are two front fenders. We've got the hood over here, the trunk, the two doors, and the two quarter panels. And then we've got some, yeah, some parts. Well, yeah, very shiny parts actually, if you look at that little glow on it. So yeah, this should be everything to put the car back together, except for the one thing that we don't have yet. That is the engine, transmission, and yeah, I think that's probably it. We still need some odd bits like radiator hoses. I did notice there are some battery wires over here. I think maybe this is also what Alan brought, and the battery is also here. So yeah, we can probably start with this. Let's get this cable back into the car first of all, and we'll just get that into position, and we're just going to bolt it down. So I'm not going to add the battery just yet, because we are going to be welding. And as you see, Alan actually did get some gas bottles for the MIG welder over there. And he also got some more wire spools, so that is pretty cool. We don't have to struggle with the stick welder today. So we should be able to use this MIG welder again. So let's bring this one closer. And we're just going to put it over there for now. And we are obviously going to need a wrench. So we'll just bring the toolbox, the whole toolbox, a little bit closer. And I think, yeah, let's start with the obvious things. We'll work it from the back. We're going to start with the quarter panels. So let's bring the first quarter panel over to the car. Right, so this should go on fairly well, actually. That is definitely looking very good. All right, let's bring our welder over to this side. And let's just weld this thing together. We've got a couple of welds to do. Right, so I believe this was the one that I was looking for in the last episode that we didn't find on the rocker panel, which was actually meant for the quarter panel, as you can see. And we are going to have to probably not knock the welding machine over. Right, so we'll get that into position. And I believe there should be a little piece here at the back. It's called the valance, I believe. So let's see if we can quickly figure out where that is. It might actually be this part over here. So yeah, let's get this into place. So that should go on there. And I believe that actually just welds to this end over here. And obviously we are going to need to mount the next quarter panel for the other side. So let's grab the next quarter panel here. I'm just going to take this over. Alright, and there is our quarter panel for this side. I'm just going to weld everything into place. Very good. And also a weld down there. And we've got a weld over here and over on the roof. And let's just do a quick double check here. We've got basically a weld over there that I missed, but we'll go and catch that in a moment. And I believe we should have all of the welding done under here. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we need to just make sure we weld this into place. Perfect. All right, and then now obviously we need to grab the next part over here, which will probably be, yeah, it's not something we need to weld probably. I don't know if this part needs to be welded, the rear panel. I think this is the last part we'll have to weld. The rest will probably bolt into place. So let's get that on the car. And we've got a couple of welds here. Alright, I think that's all of them. Let's just double check this, or make sure of that. Yeah, I think that is basically the welding work done. So let's go ahead and put this MIG welder out of the way again. Alright, and I think let's start with the biggest part here, which would be the hood. We're going to put the hood on the car. We're going to bolt it down. Alright, and I think before we mount the doors, we should probably mount the seats firstly. Alright, and that is our hood. Alright, that looks very nice. Actually like this shade of purple on the car. Alright, so next up let's grab our fenders. This is our driver side fender. And we're going to just put this into place. And there are a couple of bolts here we need to tie down. Alright, I don't think this car has got any... Yeah, I don't think it's got any bolts over here. Yeah, there's no bolts on the inner fender. And yeah, I see a little bit of an issue with the front suspension. That is a little bit too low. So, I'm gonna have to maybe ask Spartan if we should raise the suspension a bit. Rather, put it on stock springs. But that's something we're gonna have to take up with Spartan once we go and pick up his engine. Or obviously the Niva's engine. I don't know if this car's engine is ready yet. We'll have to go and check with Spartan. But I will ask him about the suspension, or maybe, yeah, just tell him that it's gonna be rubbing very badly. And then he'll have to make the decision on that. Right, but furthermore, we've still got our bumpers to do. So this is our front bumper, nice and color-coded. And I think we've got a bolt, probably down, all the way down here. There we go, that is the bolt. And we've got a bolt over there. Alright, perfect. Yeah, I think we should definitely, yeah, suggest normal springs on this car. Alright, let's grab the rear bumper. I'm going to get that into position and also very nicely color coded. Alright, and now next up we can grab our trunk. So let's get the trunk on the car. Alright, so that is our trunk lid. Let's just bolt it down. Alright, and yeah, I think that actually looks very good. Right, so next up we are going to probably tackle the seats. We'll start with the back seat, or the rear seat rather, whichever you'd like to call it. Right, so these are very nice bright white seats. They are definitely matching the look of this car. Right, so there's the rear seat into place. Now we're going to do the two front seats. So we'll do the driver's side first. Why not? Right, so these should fit very nicely as well. They definitely suit the interior of the car. And we'll just get those bolted down. And over there as well. I actually noticed the nice white pedals as well in that. That's a lot of attention to detail to this thing. Right, and we're going to mount the last seat over here. And then the only thing we need to get into this car is basically the engine and the two doors, apart from the transmission, obviously. I don't think he's going with an automatic gearbox because we've got manual pedals in the car. So we'll probably do a manual transmission, depends on what Spartan wants. Alright, and we are going to bolt up this door just like that. And that actually almost finishes this car off. Just got one more door to install, and then we should get a pretty good idea of what this thing is going to look like when it's completely done. Right, and there's our last door. And we'll bolt that down as well. Alright, and then the last thing that needs to go in, basically what we have here would be the battery. So let's go ahead and get our battery into position. And we'll just bolt it down into place. And now the car should be alive if we turn the ignition on, but obviously there's no engine, so there's no really reason for us to do that. Yeah, I'll just double check those bolts. It looked like they were loose there for a second. But yeah, I think we really need to get some stock suspension on this thing, because yeah, we're going to have a lot of rubbing at the front of this thing. But yes, man, this thing actually turned out very nice, apart from the front suspension being too low. But yeah, you can clearly see there's a lot of detail, a lot of attention to the color matching, playing with the chrome and the purple at the same time. Everything is basically custom on this car, and just look at that gleam over there. You can see the color reflection is very nice. Right, so yeah, I think that actually concludes it for the Chevy Chevelle for Spartan. Well, at least for now, until we can get the engine fitted in it. Alright, and next up we're going to be tackling the little Niva over here, which has apparently got a little bit of suspension work we need to figure out. And the engine and transmission also needs to come out. So obviously Alan has got quite a bit of an idea on what he wants to do with this thing. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we will definitely help him out to get this thing to where he wants it to be. So let's start with the engine. First of all, we're going to remove the engine. Right, so let's put that over there. And let's unbolt this transmission from the engine. Right, there's no cables on this side. We will go around to this side. Going to undo the bolts on the transmission this side, and we'll get all of the wiring off. Even the one from the starter is very important. And the alternator. And before we take out our last engine mount, let's just remove this exhaust. Alright, so the old crusty exhaust is off, and we are just gonna basically chuck it there for now. Right, and now we can continue and remove the engine. So there's our little inline 4 1.5 liter engine. I wonder what type of condition this engine is. Basically, it doesn't look terrible. I do know Alan has got a blown up 1.2 liter engine in the back. I don't know if this is going to be something to rebuild eventually. But yes, we've got basically the engine out now. That is what he requested. And I believe next up we should probably start the suspension, and then we'll take the transmission out along with that, because that is going to require us to lift this thing a little bit higher. I just hope we're not going to have any problems. It doesn't look like it wants to slide off. Alright, let's get our front wheel removed here. We'll do one corner at a time and yeah, just sort things out as we go. I'm not too sure if Alan is going to replace the tires on this thing, because I think this tire is, yeah, that's definitely bald. So you might have to replace that. And over on this side, let's do a quick investigation. We are going to change the brake discs probably, and also all of the worn brake parts along with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through the back to the front. Let's just make a little bit of space here. Wonder why Alan left some money on the table. I don't think it's for us, but yeah, I should probably just put that in his office. Maybe he forgot it over here. I've got no reason why, well, no idea why the money would be laying over there. But yes, let's just put it over there on his desk for him. And then we will continue on this wheel quickly, just to give ourselves a bit of an idea of what's going on with the suspension. So we do have got this upper control arm, which needs to be replaced. Right, and let's grab this, just put it over here on the table. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit confused about that cash laying on the table. Maybe he forgot it there. I don't know. But yeah, luckily you guys are my witness. I didn't take it. I just put it back on his desk. And we're going to remove this half axle. Right, this half axle looks a little bit worn. That it is. So he's going to have to get a new one of those. I'm not too sure if that money was actually meant for some parts that we might need. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a little bit interesting why Alan would leave the money just on the table like that. Alright, and we've got a bad shock absorber over here. Alright, and what else can we see that is definitely worn? Okay, we are going to remove the brake caliper even if it looks decent. Because, yeah, I think Alan might have to replace the pads at least in this caliper. So we'll get that over there. And I also see we've got a bad wheel hub on this corner, so we'll just remove this. Alan will probably also inspect the brake disc, see if he wants to reuse it. This one doesn't look too bad on this side, but I think we can probably also pop this off for him, because that is obviously part of the brakes. So we'll just get that on the table as well. Right, and I think we can now move over to the rear suspension. I don't think there's anything else lurking over here. Everything actually looks decent. I think this half axle is also fine. Doesn't look like there's any bad, yeah, suspension parts left for us here. Everything looks decent. Even the steering arm looks good. We've got good tie rods. Front drive axle looks good. Drive shaft looks good. The rear drive shaft looks good. Transfer case looks decent. Right, so let's get this gearbox removed. Right, so where are these bolts? So there should be 3 of them. And we can grab the transmission from here. Alright, and the transmission, we'll just put it on this table over there for now. Alright, moving over to the rear suspension, let's quickly have a little bit of a look around here, what is going on. Alright, and over here we can clearly see there's quite a lot going on. We've got a bad lower control arm on this side. It's not just bad, it's actually very bad. So that has definitely seen some better days. Alright, let's just put it on the table over here. Alright, we just knocked that over a bit, but there we go. Alright, so that is decent. And as for the brakes, we're going to take the brakes off. Alright, Right, and let's get this over on the table here. Yeah, this caliper looks decent actually. I would reuse it if I was Alan. Right, and then let's get our brake disc removed from here. Just for some better inspection. Yeah, it's actually not too bad either. Alright, and back to the wrench. And let's see what else we've got back here. We've got, looks like a decent coil spring on this corner. Shock absorbers look good. We've got a good differential. We've got a good drive axle. Yeah, the rear axle itself looks decent. That hub doesn't seem too bad. Right, and this is the rear control arm we need to replace. That is definitely too far gone. Right, over on this corner, let's get this wheel removed. And we could probably just put them on a stack here, because I don't think we need to leave these things laying around. Right, and let's just grab this. There we go. Alright, and let's continue. Right, obviously once again we're going to remove the brakes. And yeah, just upon quick inspection I can just tell there's another bad lower control arm on that side. Right, so there's our other bad caliper. Well, another bad caliper obviously. Right, and let's quickly grab the screwdriver again for that brake disc. Alright, so there's our brake disc of that corner. It doesn't look too bad. But as they say, in hindsight, it looks good. Alright, and then we are going to move over to the other side again. We've got this lower control arm, which actually doesn't look much better than the one on the opposite side. Yeah, that is looking quite bad actually. I wonder if this thing actually went off-road and maybe jumped. Yeah, that could explain why the lower control arms are so badly bent. Because the upper ones, they actually look fairly decent, strange enough. Yeah, I really don't know what happened to this poor little thing. It was definitely abused a bit, if you ask me. But yeah, they always say that the company car is one of the fastest cars you can find on this planet. Alright, so I think just for safety we're going to lower it down a bit so that it's not sitting way up high. And I believe Spartan is probably still busy with the engine. I don't know if I should maybe give him a call, because maybe he just forgot to phone us, because it's already like midday and yeah, things aren't going to happen on their own. So I'm just going to give it yeah, take a chance and give him a call. Maybe the engines are ready. So let me do this quickly. All right. And that was a quick phone call to Spartan. And yeah, apparently he asked me about the money that Alan had. Well, so he said Alan was going to give him the money, and I asked him what the amount was, and he said it was this amount, 4,289. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this money. We're going to take it with us, because apparently this is money that Alan owes Spartan for something that he didn't spend on the car, obviously, from the budget. So yeah, that makes sense why the money was left there, but it's not really the safest place to have put it. I would have left it like, you know, in a safe, or hid it under the freaking couch pillow or something, you know. But yeah, anyway, yeah, at the end of the day, the money is going back to Spartan. And yeah, he actually also finished the engine for his own car, as well as the one we need for our little Niva. I don't know what engine it is that Alan ordered for the Niva, but we also do have got Spartan's engine ready, which is actually good news, because yeah, that is something we actually need to get into that car next up. And yeah, I didn't say anything about the transmission, but yeah, Spartan told me where his shop is, and I think I may have actually passed it a couple of times, because it's basically past Alan's house apparently. So we're going to take a drive over there, and we're going to see Spartan's shop and just see what his setup is there at the moment. So let's make our way over there and get this engine, or actually get these engines. So here we go.
I'm up with the dog, boots hitting the dirt, kicking up dust in my old plaid shirt. The boss man's orders, a Ford F-250. Got a long road ahead, but feeling kinda nifty. Gonna collect 2 engines, one's a custom V8. The other's a mystery, but I can't hardly wait. Open road's calling with a country song's grace. Lost in the rumble of hard work, sweet embrace. Driving that company truck down the 2-lane blacktop, making good time, can't afford to make a pit stop with the wind in my hair.
Alright, so we are here at Spartan's shop, and I just made a quick phone call to him again, because when I got here there was nobody here. So that is why I decided to give him a call quick just to figure out what's happening, and he said that the shop is open. We are welcome to come inside and just open the door over here. So yeah, he said that he's busy with a project, and you can see it's a very similar project to the one that we actually just did for him. But this car has been chromed completely, and it's been, yeah, basically fitted with these pink parts. So I'm not too sure if this is maybe just one of his customers' vehicles or whatever, but they apparently brought their car in for an engine repair, and yeah, you can clearly see he's got a little bit of an engine problem. So yeah, so I spoke to Spartan, and he said all of the parts and our 2 engines are on the left wall as you come through the big door. So I take it these are all the parts for his car, because this actually matches his car, these exhausts. And I take it one of the boxes are the engine for his car, and the other box should be our engine for our little Niva. So yeah, I'm just gonna load everything up quickly, and yeah, he also asked me to just drop the money on his toolbox for him. So that is what I'm going to do. We're just gonna leave it there for him. So about the suspension, he said that yeah, we'll have to change it for him, but that is going to require it to be obviously color coded to be the same color. So he asked me if I could probably try and remove it, and I told him that we currently don't have an extra lift at the shop to put the car on. But yeah, we're gonna try and make a plan for him and see if we can get that suspension taken off. But I might have to go and pick up some jack stands for that, because then we can at least leave the car on jack stands. So that is my plan. But I'm gonna have to go and make a little bit of a purchase of jack stands. So I figured, well, I might as well buy them for myself and use it on his car for now. And then, yeah, obviously we are going to be the owners of some jack stands. So yeah, let's just see if we can get everything loaded here quick. And then we're going to go and have a look at those jack stands and see if we can find some. And there we go. Let's just get the last box in here as well. Just going to make a little bit of space here. These mufflers are a little bit long. Alright, and let's just grab this last box over here. And then we are quickly going to be on our way to the shop where we can buy some jack stands. Alright, so we are here at the warehouse down by the beach, close to Alan's house. So this is where you can come and basically buy a whole bunch of things for a workshop, as well as they've got quite a selection of wheels and tires over here as well. But we are basically here just for some jack stands. Now they've got 2 different options here. I'm not too sure what the difference are between these, but yeah, I think they are even the same price. And I also thought while I'm here, I'm going to buy myself a sledgehammer. So how this place works is you basically pick your parts or your tools and whatever you need, and you just leave the cash over there, and it's like a self-service. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to buy 4 jack stands. I might actually get the red ones, and a sledgehammer, and then we're going to load it into the truck, and we are going to be on our way. All right, and we are all loaded up. So I've got myself 4 jack stands and also a sledgehammer. So yeah, that is fairly decent. We're gonna have some jack stands for our shop, and we also got ourselves our own sledgehammer for those panels we really need to give a little bit of extra love to get them into straight, well, into shape, obviously. So yeah, let's head back over to Alan's shop because we've got quite a bit of work to do again. So yeah, let's make our way over there, and yeah, we are going to continue work. Alright, and we are finally back at the shop. So I had to make a quick stop over at Minty's to pick up some parts that we are missing on the Chevelle. So now clearly we didn't have a fuel line that is worthy of going on this freshly new built car. So I decided to get a new one, as well as a brand new upper hose for the radiator and a lower hose. So we are going to be mounting these parts as well to the car. Obviously we also have got the engine. So this is probably the V8 engine. So I take it we're going to have to unbox it first in order to see what's cooking with this. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that that is the engine for Spartan's car. However, I just need to figure out where I put the tools. There they are. So let's grab the tools because we need to unbox that engine, obviously. So let's see if we are correct. I think I might be right. So let's open this one firstly. And there we go. That is in fact the V8 for Spartan's car. It actually looks very nice, very detailed with the chrome and purple bits. So they, yeah, definitely communicated this very well with regards to the colors that's going on this car. So we're going to get this engine straight into Spartan's car over here. Just going to bolt it down. Right, so there we go. So everything is basically into place. We just need to bolt up all of the other bits and pieces here. We are going to have to probably jack this thing up to get the transmission fitted. But yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. Alright, and let's just double check. Did I get all of the bolts on this side? Yes, we've got that. We've got the alternator. And obviously we don't have the starter bolt yet, because that is on the transmission, which we also have back here on the truck. We've got our 5-speed transmission, I believe. So this is also, yeah, very nicely chromed and shined up a bit. Gonna bolt that into place. Let's come around this side. We're gonna bolt these 2 bolts down. And the starter, yeah, the starter is probably on this side. Actually just need to get that bolt tightened down as well. And then we're going to grab the exhaust. Well, basically both of these exhausts. So this one is for the passenger side. So let's slide this under the car. This thing is super low, which is a bit of a problem actually for the front suspension. And we're going to grab the other exhaust of the truck here. We're going to get this fitted as well. Alright, and get it lined up over there. We're going to bolt it down. Perfect. Let's just have a look at that back here. Oh yeah, that is what I'm talking about, man. That is looking very clean. So yeah, we need to take the suspension off this car now, and yeah, we'll do the coolant and all of that stuff off camera. I believe it shouldn't be a big issue, and it's not really necessary to show on camera each and every oil fill and, well, radiator coolant that I'm topping off. So we are gonna just go ahead and do that off camera later on. And then let's grab our hoses. We'll get our hoses into place. So let's bolt that down, and we're also going to grab the other hose over here and just get that lined up over there, and let's bolt that down. And that is one super clean looking engine bay. it is definitely the perfect fit for this car. So let's have a look and see if we close the hood. I believe everything should clear. We've got a nice little scoop on this hood as well. Yeah, that is perfect. I think there's absolutely nothing that I would personally change on this car, except for the suspension, obviously, which is what we are going to be removing now. So I think we're just going to need one floor jack, and we're going to do it basically, yeah, the two sides separately. So let's get this thing lifted up all the way as high as it will go. We are going to need a wrench in order to secure the floor jacks to the car. So these are my personal floor jacks now. Right, so let's get that basically figured out where this is going to go. Alright, so there is going to be a little change of plans, because obviously when they modified those floors for the car, for the paint job, they actually took the mounting brackets off, and yeah, we can't seem to get those fitted to this these floor pans, or the rocker panels for that matter. So we're going to have to improvise here, and the only thing that I can actually think of is to get this car basically, yeah, lifted at the front, because the front is definitely where the problem is with the suspension. And then what we'll do is we'll get the new front and rear suspension parts we need to swap out, and we'll just take the rear ones off once we obviously have got the correct parts that's going to go on the car. So I'm just going to grab the other floor jack. We're going to jack it up on the front, and then yeah, hopefully this is going to be, yeah, sufficient for us until we get the right suspension parts to put in. Alright, so where's our, yeah, I think we just need our pry tool for the front. So we're just going to remove the front ones at the moment. So let's get that out of the way, and these are going to be swapped for stock ride height shock absorbers, well, torsion bars for that matter, and obviously the leaf springs at the back we're going to have to change on this thing. So let's remove this one as well. Alright, so that is basically the two torsion bars out. So yeah, it looks like this wasn't such a good idea for them using these torsion bars on this car with those specific wheels. So I think the standard ride height on this thing should also look very decent with these wheels. So I'm sure Spartan will be happy with that result. But for now, I think that is basically everything we can do to this thing. The only other thing that I can really do now is probably unbox the other engine and just see what it is, because I'm actually curious to see what Alan is going to be putting into this little 4x4 Niva truck thing that we are busy building. So let's bring this over here, and we're gonna pop the hood, and I think let's just do this quick and see what exactly he's got in this box. All right, and yeah, there's the last bolt. All right, let's get this cover off, and yeah, we've got another inline 6 diesel engine going into this little pickup truck by the looks of it. So that is quite interesting. So I'm pretty sure I noticed there's a gearbox at the back of our parts room. There's a gearbox for the diesel engine, I believe. I actually noticed this in the last video that I made. So I take it this is the one that's going on the car. I'm just not too sure with the wheels what's the story, because yeah, because I think Alan might actually want to put those other wheels on this thing now. I wonder if that's his idea. So I think these wheels will actually work on this little pickup truck. So let's give it a little bit of a shot. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what it'll look like. Yeah, I don't know if that is the look Alan is going to go for, but I'm all for it. I mean, that is definitely going to turn this thing into a sleek little pickup truck. But yeah, we need to get this engine buttoned up. Obviously, there's a turbocharger on this engine. Alright, we are missing the starter over there. I'm pretty sure the starter is the same one as on the inline 4 over here. So let's see how good this starter is. Might actually use the starter, I'm not sure. But I think what I'm going to do is let's check quickly in the back if the starter motor on the other engine is maybe a bit better. Where is the other engine now? Yeah, I could have sworn it was here. I don't know if Alan took it. He may have actually taken that engine. By the looks of it, yeah, I thought it was still there, but yeah, appears to be gone. Just goes to show, I spend one day working at my own shop and things change around here. Alright, so we're going to probably have to use the starter we have just for now. So let's get this starter on the actual engine over there. Alright, let's bolt it down. Alright, and this is a very white engine. It is very bright indeed. Alright, and there should be a bolt up here. I think we've got it. It's one of those bolts you can't really see, but you'll need to feel where it is. And there's another one there. And did we get the alternator? I don't think so. But yeah, that is going to be quite a big engine for such a little truck. It's definitely going to move. Alright, I just want to lift it up and see we've got all of the gearbox bolts, or, well, transmission bolts. I'm not sure if there's anything else lurking under here. I think everything is good. I don't know if there's a bolt behind this drive shaft. No, there's none. Alright, well, yeah, looks like we've got everything. We just need to tie it up to the, yeah, to the gearbox at the back of the transfer case. And I think actually there's not a lot of work to do to this thing still. I don't know if Alan is gonna put those wheels on that I just showed you. But yeah, this thing is super clean and super white. And yeah, I'm sure this hood will clear the... Yeah, definitely. There's not a problem in the world. Alright, well, I think what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day is, well, just sort out the shop a bit. Make sure all the crusty parts are basically ordered. I might actually place an order for all of these parts, and then we are going to just, yeah, as I said, neaten up the shop a bit. We're going to order those torsion bars and the leaf springs on behalf of Alan, and once those get here, we'll probably get those installed. But yeah, I think that is basically everything that we're going to have time for in this episode. Wait a moment, before we do that, my cell phone is ringing. So now I wonder who could this be. Let's answer this phone call quickly. Alright, so we just had a long phone call with Merle. In fact, he's got a little bit of an offer for me. So it turns out he knows that I've got my own little shop open at the moment, and that I've started doing private jobs. And he told me that a shop in this town cannot really survive without a ramp bed truck. And I actually know this because this little, well, not really little, it's quite a big thing. This ramp truck that Alan's got is actually very handy. And Merle just happens to have one. And yeah, we know that he's trying to sell his for, I think, $9,000, what he was asking for it. And he said he can't really get it sold because it's non-running, so people are just, put off by that. So he actually has got an offer for me. He said that he will give me the ramp truck that he currently has, the red one sitting in his yard, as well as that 1969 Chevy Impala, which is also a non-runner, if I gave him my Ford F100 truck. So he said he knows my truck is running, he knows the engine is solid in it because it came out of, well, most of the parts came from him. But yeah, obviously that is going to leave me with 2 non-running vehicles at the end of the day. And yeah, I told him I can't really make the decision just yet. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about it over the weekend, give it a little bit of thought, and just, yeah, think about the pros and cons about it. So yes, we are getting 2 vehicles for the price of 1, but we are getting 2 non-running vehicles. And we are also going to lose our very trusty Ford F100, which we literally just got fixed up and running. And reliable actually, because so far I haven't had any trouble with this truck, except for the things that I have inflicted, like the accident we had the other day on this quarter panel. So further than that, this thing has been very solid and very reliable, and it has been hauling all the stuff that I could throw at it so far with a trailer and all that. So yeah, I'm kind of in two minds about this, but yeah, as I said, I'm gonna have to think about this. But also do drop me some comments down below. What do you guys think I should do? Give me your thoughts on this. I'm not too sure if that is going to be a bargain, but yeah, I'm gonna have to clearly try and make the right decision here. But yes, as you can see, this is basically getting a little bit late. It's getting a bit dark already, and we need to get back to the shop, and I still needed to do a little bit of preparation work on Lance's truck. I also think Minty might have some parts ready for me that I can collect. So yeah, I think that is going to be a wrap for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.